Good day class, welcome to Plant Production 2 PTP 211A. This course is meant to help you understand basic concepts in plant health. Plants are important because they provide us with food, shelter and serve as raw material in a variety of other products. To grow, a plant needs adequate water, nutrients, light and a favorable environment. However, plant pathogens infect plants and disrupt their normal physiological functioning. Infected plants develop symptoms and may be severely diseased. Diseases spread from plant to plant and massive losses may occur as a result of disease spread, which is referred to as epidemic development. The appearance of symptoms is the first indication of disease development. The study of plant diseases has a long history. The Bible mentions blight and mildew, which were a form of calamity which will befall the people of Israel if they disobeyed God. Another historical reference is the Irish potato famine of the mid-1800s. Failure of the potato crop was as a result of epidemics of the fungal pathogen Phytophthora infestans. I will introduce these basic concepts: parasitism, disease, signs and symptoms, and epidemics. Parasitism is the dependence of one organism, the parasite, on another, the host, at the expense of the host. Plant disease develops because a disease-causing parasite, the pathogen, derives its living from the plant. A disease is a physiological malfunction of the plant due to the action of a pathogen. The plant gets weakened and symptoms persist, and if symptoms persist, it may die. Three conditions are necessary for a plant disease to occur. You need a susceptible host, a virulent pathogen, and an environment which favors disease development. Favorable environmental conditions may be sufficient moisture or warm temperatures. The existence of the three conditions are illustrated with what is called the disease triangle. Disease development takes place in various stages, which begin with inoculation, penetration, establishment of infection, colonization, growth of the pathogen, and finally its reproduction. Plant diseases may be characterized in various ways by the symptoms they cause, for example, root rots or wilt or spots, or by the organ which is affected, like root diseases. The types of plants affected, like maize, or the type of pathogen, that is bacteria or fungi or viruses, or even lower categorization like rust diseases. Symptoms and signs indicate that a pathogen has infected the plant. These may be visible spots on a fruit or the wilting of a plant. Disease may spread to affect plants or a huge area because the pathogens can be disseminated over long distances. This is called epidemics, the widespread of a disease over a long range. The first step towards managing diseases is accurate identification and diagnosis. Scouting is inspection of a field for the symptoms, and diagnosis means ascertaining and confirming the cause of the disease. A comprehensive diagnostic procedure is called Koch postulates. Scouting is the observation and assessment of plants for signs of infection. Koch postulates were named after the German physician and microbiologist Robert Koch. Koch formulated a set of rules called Koch postulates, which state that the organism must constantly be associated with the disease. The organism must be isolated from the infected tissue and must then be cultured in a pure culture. From this culture, the organism must then be inoculated onto healthy plants of the same species from which the original organism was isolated. The same disease first noted must then develop. The organism must then again be isolated from the newly formed disease. The organism must be identical to the originally isolated organism. Once proper disease identification has been completed, then the disease can be managed. There are various ways for managing diseases: cultural control, biological control, physical control, chemical control, integrated control of plant diseases. Cultural control aims at helping plants avoid contact with a pathogen and at eradicating or reducing the amount of a pathogen in a plant, field, or area. Examples of cultural control are crop rotation, tillage, roguing, mulching, intercropping, flooding, and sanitation. Biological control is introduction of organisms antagonistic to the pathogen. Advantages of biological control are that it may be self-sustaining, it may be affordable, may be environmentally friendly. The biological control agent may be a self-multiplicating organism, no develop of resistance to the control agent, and it may be selective, that means it targets only the pathogen. Physical control aims at protecting plants from pathogen inoculum. This may be physical barriers like trees and furrows for diverting water from possible sources of contamination. Chemical control aims at protecting plants from pathogen inoculum and at curing an infection that is already in progress. This includes spraying with fungicides and other chemicals. Integrated control of plant diseases integrates various methods of plant disease management. It is an easy way to circumvent the coping strategies of the pathogen. Insects may also be plant pests and cause huge economic losses. They may also be vectors of pathogens like viruses. Examples of insect pests are aphids, thrips, and bollworm. Insects cause damage in a number of ways as they possess various mouth parts. There are chewing insects, sucking insects, gall-forming insects. If an insect's feeding produces symptoms, we call the insect toxicogenic, and the condition is called phytotoxemia. Phytotoxemia varies in a number of ways from viral diseases. Toxin does not produce in the plant. Virus reproduces in plant. Symptoms subside when insects are removed. Symptoms persist when insects are removed. Recovery uncommon for viral diseases, and recovery is common for phytotoxemias. Degree of injury related to the number of insects and the length of time they feed. Degree of injury not necessarily related to the number of insects or the length of time they feed when it comes to viral diseases. Disease is not perpetuated by vegetative production or transmitted by grafting. But in viral diseases, disease can be perpetuated by vegetative propagation and transmitted by grafting. Insects can be controlled by physical elimination. Physical methods include physical removal and destruction, mechanical exclusion, mechanical traps, dragging of chains and brushes. Plants are an important resource and they must be protected against diseases. Good luck in your future and as plant health experts.